I feel just terrible right now and I don't really know why. I feel like I might throw up. So if you ever see some like weird cuts in the middle of my sentences, I may or may not have thrown up. Or I just stumbled on my words. We'll see. Hello everyone, my name is Claudia Matas. I am sorry I look like this, but that's life, you know? So we just kind of got to get over that. Today I'm going to be talking about a kind of unconventional subject for myself. I usually like talking very in-depthly about movies and TV shows and stuff, and today's a bit of a departure from that, but still in the same realm. Today I'm going to be talking about Gabbie Hanna. More specifically, Gabbie Hanna's music videos. Specifically, Gabbie Hanna's music video for Broken Girls. I forgot to mention that for some reason. Gabbie Hanna is a creator that is very, bad. She's a bad person. I don't like her. I used to like her a lot when I was younger. I was so into storytime YouTubers. I still kind of am, just because they're so, like, dramatic and with a toothbrush. I just love hearing how awful of people they are, you know? I used to kind of like Gabbie Hanna, but I wasn't really like obsessed with her. And then when she put out music, I was like, okay. Like she pulled the whole like, I always wanted to be a singer thing, which every YouTuber pulls, and it's like, sure, you did. Or now you just have a following, so you're like, oh, might as well. And I've seen a lot of people analyzing her music, talking about her singing, talking about, you know, the songs, how they're made, whatever. And I can't do that because I have genuinely no knowledge about music or how to sing or whatever, so I can't really say anything in that department. But one thing that I can talk about regarding Gabbie Hanna is her music videos, because that is an area in which I am pretty well versed in. I spend my time going to school for theater production, so I spend a lot of my time researching stuff about lighting and sets and costumes and what do they mean and what do they convey to the audience. Also, when I was in high school, I was in a competitive art program, meaning that I had to analyze art all the time, whether it be my own or other people's. And so let's just say I do this a lot and I'm pretty knowledgeable of how to do it. So those are my credentials. You may listen to me or you may not. I am not a professional. One day, eventually, I hope to be, but I am not. So you don't have to take my words completely seriously. Okay? Okay. When I'm critiquing her music videos, and specifically Broken Girls, and how they're made, I'm going to be majorly talking about the principles of art and design, which are rhythm, balance, emphasis, proportion, gradation, harmony, variety, and movement. Now, again, these are just some simple rules that were made by some white guys a while ago. They totally don't matter. Art is subjective. If something brings out like emotion to you and it doesn't to me, I don't have any right to tell you that you're wrong. Even though in this video, if I'm angry enough, I might say that you're wrong. But yeah, those are kind of the rules I'm going to be going by, so I'm not just sitting here being like, this is dumb and this is stupid and I don't like it. You know, we actually have a little bit of art theory going on here because, you know, it's probably a good idea. Why I'm going by these rules, not just because it's a much more objective way of looking at this music video, it's also because these principles kind of nonetheless will make your art better if you use them. They are artistic rules that are used in all forms of art, and they work to move the eye in a certain way. So when I'm critiquing art, that's a big thing that's important, is what am I supposed to be looking at first, and what is the journey the eye is supposed to be taking. Now obviously film's a little different because it's moving, and especially for a music video it's a lot more constant, but the same rules fairly apply. Now, Gabbie Hanna's motifs that she pretty much uses in all of her music and all of her music videos are the concepts of how mental illness affects her, the facade of happiness, men lying to her, feeling like a villain, and how hard it is to be normal. Gabbie Hanna's not normal. But at least she doesn't take medication, so she's all good. Now, I'm not gonna criticize these themes, even though they are pretty, like, typical. Because again, art is subjective, and I have seen many artists who use themes like this that I genuinely enjoy. So again, you know, she can do whatever she wants. But these are pretty common themes that we see in female artists, especially like edgy female artists. We see this a lot with Melanie Martinez and a lot with Billie Eilish, whatever, and that's fine, again, but I find that these two women do a lot more interesting things with these concepts, but that's just me. That's just me. In the Broken Girls music video that we're going to be analyzing today, we see a lot of the central motifs of dolls, broken dolls / doll parts, dollhouses, broken mirrors, therapy, and the colors blue and pink. And the main theme of the song Broken Girls is men like me because I'm broken and they feel more put together, which we can hear in this part of the song. Like broken girls because they make you feel put together. Please don't get me copyrighted for that. We're going to go from location to location as we see in the music video, and I'm going to kind of analyze as to why they're badly done, okay? Okay. Now, the first shot we see is her in a therapy room, and this is kind of the main shot we keep going back to during the music video. Well, it's very awkwardly framed. It's the side of the couch, but we don't see the full couch. We see just like the half that she's on, but she's in the middle of the couch, so it's just weirdly framed, and it's such a crowded shot. There's like a shelf behind her and a desk and a plant and these really colorful pillows and a fireplace, and there is the dramatic lighting that we see throughout. It's a really common problem that you'll find throughout this music video, and I will continuously say again. The big opening shot is to basically show how broken or / edgy Gabbie is. We see this very clearly with her black tattered clothes, her bright colorful hair, her black edgy makeup, but with her sitting on a black couch and all the purple and pink lights everywhere, she blends in perfectly. If anything, she doesn't even look out of place in this universe. And I'm sorry I keep looking this way, I'm just looking at the picture of it so I can like analyze it easier. Yeah. Now, another weird thing about this scene is that the therapist is never pictured, even though it's like the person she's essentially singing to in this part. There is a little cutaway where it shows that he has his name on his desk and it says Dr. Smile. It's interesting why, you know, something like Dr. Smile very much represents normalcy, and he is like the binary. It's like, oh, like, why don't you smile? Like, you should be a happy person, while Gabbie is not a happy person. So why does his therapy room look like Beetlejuice designed it? For example, in Melanie Martinez's music videos, you always see people of power / people who are like neurotypical represented in a much more kind of structured way than she is, while Melanie always wears pastel pinks and blues and purples. The people of power wear deep reds and deep blues, showing that they're harsh. But those colors aren't the only colors that appear. We still have this whiteness, like, you know, like on the walls and in the background and stuff. So when we see the soft whiteness of the backgrounds of Melanie's parts, where it's like her and she's feeling herself, and it's, you know, her pastel self, she's still in a white background. So these worlds still feel like they're in the same area, but they feel connected in this way because there is this unity in the environment. But different characters bring different colors into that environment. But the adults feel like a sour version of hers, where instead Gabbie is in a world that complements her colors and she blends in with. But the theme of the song is essentially, I'm not like other girls. So why does she fit the environment so flawlessly? She also moves around like way too much, and the camera just cuts so much, and like it's hard to focus on one thing, and it's incredibly frustrating to watch. Also, for some reason, they never show the therapist, which I don't really know why. But in order to hide them, they have those really awkward angles, like I was saying. And it just to like not show him in frame at all, but it's always from one side and it's always really awkward looking, and I don't like it. It would be much more interesting if Gabbie didn't want the therapist to be shown at all. Like, that was like a creative choice she made, which is fair, like, go off, I guess. I mean, you could probably do some interesting things, like maybe have like a boy she likes be the therapist, because then it's like the whole song about like, I like boys, broken boys like me because they feel less broken. Like, that would work. I literally just thought of that at the top of my head, and it literally works so much better than not showing the therapist at all. Anyway, if she didn't want to have the therapist shown, she could have the camera be in place for the therapist, so sitting right opposite of Gabbie. And I would have the room be incredibly normal looking, with a lot of whites and pastel greens and oranges that directly contrast the pinks and the blues that we see. And it would contrast the harshness of Gabbie, so she looks like extremely edgy in this environment, which is the goal. And also, when the camera does these awkward cuts, if it stays in one place and she's just moving around from like sitting on one area of the couch to another, to another, to another, it works so much better because it's showing that she's like, you know, moving around a lot, and she's kind of like a little manic, you know, which adds to her whole quirky vibe. It would display her manic energy in a binary world much better. Next shot is this dollhouse shot. Oh, it's such a ugly shot. Okay, first of all, not to mention that using Barbies slash just dolls in general to represent the status quo and to represent like, oh, look at me, I'm a confident, I'm like a normal woman, is so boring and so incredibly overused. I have a song about trying to feel perfect. Maybe I should have a Barbie. Like shut up. It's so boring. It's so boring. Holy crap. Dodie has this song called Intertwine, and it's one example of using doll-related imagery in your music video that is actually really cool. Like, it's actually a really well done music video, and I really like it. And the imagery in it is so much more interesting and horrific, and totally showing this, the perfect couple being tarnished so much better than anything that Gabbie has done in this music video. But I digress. Gabbie is reaching out and playing with Barbie and Ken through the windows. It literally so obviously looks like they got some dollhouse from a garage sale. They ripped out the insides, like all the little stuff that was in it. They painted it acrylic, like with acrylic paint white, and that was it, you know? It's so boring. This one looks so horrible. Like, honestly, the idea of having kind of like a busted down dollhouse could work for the context if the inside wasn't so awfully lit. Because they are so damn like into having this blue and pink lighting, it just makes the shot look really muddy. I don't understand like why it looks like this. It just looks so bad. The thing with having like small little like miniature people or miniature sets in general is that they can really easily be lost in all of the other stuff going around, and they can really easily look like really lost in everything. So it's really important to give them as much attention as you want to give them. If they're the main part of that part you are filming, then I would suggest giving them clear lighting so you can see exactly what the dolls are doing. I would probably give Gabbie a malicious light, like probably the red and the blue should only be on Gabbie instead of having it on her, well, on the dolls as well, to show that she's this like malignant force that's coming in and messing up the dolls. And another thing with this is like, what's the meaning of this part? You know what I mean? Like, therapy, I get that. Like, you're broken, you go to therapy. Sure, simple enough. But her playing with dolls, what is that representing in the theme of men like me because I'm broken, because they feel more fixed? But she's playing with a boy and a girl doll, so she's controlling both, but she's the broken one. So what's the symbolism here? Does it just look kind of edgy to have this angry goth girl playing with two dolls? Yeah, and obviously they have the part where like the other doll is like the girl doll is stabbing the doll and whatever. But I think what would work so much better is if they put pink or purple paint or something, like a big bold color, painted Gabbie's hands that color. So when she played with the dolls, the paint got everywhere. It got all over the white walls, it got all over the Barbies, it, you know, messed everything up. So it's showing how her brokenness tends to mess up relationships. That's some meaning. You're welcome, Gabbie. Oh, don't even get me started on this shot. This is the worst shot in this video. Oh my god. So much is going on in this shot and it just doesn't look good. Who filmed this? I literally need to look at who filmed this. Napid Ramos. Okay, okay, Napid Ramos. What have you done? Oh my god. He made Chicken Girls. Do you get? I know I keep saying like Gabbie's fault for whatever. Obviously, she's not a director. She doesn't know she's, you know, she like shouldn't have to be a director to get her artistic vision across. But I'm just saying, it's her video, so I'm gonna call her out on it. Like, this guy's a bad director, and I will call him out right now. Napid Ramos. But here's the thing. It's her artistic vision, and a lot of the problems I have with it are not just the directing, you know? Okay, back to what we're talking about. Napid Ramos should be crucified for this shot. The setting of this shot. Where are we? We're in a kitchen? We're in a kitchen next to a cotton candy machine with just curtain and like a weird, ambiguous, dark part of the room that has a table. Why? Why does the doll have to be here? It's so cluttered. There's just so much going on in this shot. It makes you feel just so claustrophobic. And also, not to mention with what I was saying before, all the cuts that happen, this just feels like you're just choking because there's just so much being thrown in your face. And this is what I'm talking about. My eyes can't just look at one thing because, you know, you look at Gabbie, then you look at the cotton candy machine, then you look at the table with the fruit on it, and then, you know, like everything is it's just so much. What would probably be better is a little use of repetition, maybe. Because the box itself that Gabbie's in is really cool. Why the hell is there a mini table with a telephone in the box? It does not need to be there. That's so extra. What if we use some repetition? Maybe instead there were a few boxes, like Barbie doll boxes like this, and they were all different like Gabbie dolls, but like the one that the Gabbie that's singing to us, it says like contaminated on it, or like defective doll or something like that on the box. So she's like singing and maybe she tears out of the box at a point in time, you know, maybe that's so much more like like that's the whole point, you know? She's a broken girl. She's a broken doll. So why is she in a goddamn kitchen? It just doesn't work. Have you ever put your Barbie doll, like your fresh new Barbie doll when you were a kid, like that you just got, before you took it out of the package, did you just put it in your dollhouse? No, that makes no sense thematically. Or it just, okay. Also, her outfit is just so oh my god, okay. A little qualm I have with people who try to like imitate the Barbie aesthetic. When you imitate the Barbie aesthetic wrong, it looks very trashy. And Barbie doesn't look trashy, you know? Like Barbie looks like thin and blonde and pretty and pink, you know? That's what you think of when you think of Barbie. But I'll see people who dress up as Barbie or do, you know, Barbie themed music videos and stuff like that, and they just layer on the Barbie. They do a blonde wig that's too big. It's like too much hair. They do sunglasses, they do a pink dress, and then like a pink coat over top with a pink bag and like pink shoes. And the thing is, when you're dressing up as Barbie, you have to realize that Barbie is a doll. She's a very thin doll, so she can wear a lot of clothing and it looks like all right because she's a fashion doll and that's what she's made for. People, when they go overboard with the Barbie apparel and all of that, you just look like trashy and stuff because the actual Barbie doll is usually dressed simpler than you and usually just looks more put together than you because a designer literally designed her carefully to look exactly in a certain way. So the best way to usually dress Barbie is to go simple. Like, okay, this would be fine if the wig wasn't, first of all in front here because it just hides everything. It hides her whole look. If it was pushed back a little bit, she didn't have the glasses on her head. Stupid glasses. Also, like later in the music video when she's like freaking out and running around, they fall off her head like immediately. Like what was the point of them in the first place, you know? She should just have a simple like pink dress on with like a little handbag and that'd be enough. Why does she have this little freaking raincoat on? Like, whenever I think of an iconic Barbie, like the image of Barbie in my head, I never think of a freaking clear raincoat. Like, why does she have this? Is it serving a narrative purpose? Is it because she's a broken doll that she looks like this? No, she literally just went to Forever 21. And don't tell me she didn't go to Forever 21 because she literally is wearing a shirt that says broken because she can't, because just metaphors and symbolism. No, never heard of her. I have to be as obvious as possible. My name is Gabby Hannah and I have to be as straightforward as possible with my music videos, because my fans are idiots and they will not understand if I even use the slightest bit of imagery or motifs or metaphors. Honestly, I don't even know what to say to make her look actually work, because I feel like I would just change up this whole idea personally. But I think a simple thing she can do, probably, is just don't wear a blonde wig. Like, I don't understand why she's wearing this blonde wig. Like, I get it, she's Barbie, but you'll see it in a later shot and I'm gonna like explain why I like it better. But first of all, not wearing a blonde wig already makes you look different than Barbie. Like, straight away. The wig looks really cheap and it just looks bad. And it's all in the front here. And because it's a wig, it's like 10 times bigger than anyone's natural hair. So it's covering the whole outfit and it just doesn't look good. Okay. Now there's this kind of like the dance sequence. This is like where she dances with the boys. And honestly, I don't really know a lot about dancing, so I can't really critique this part in any meaningful way. This isn't a bad outfit, but the vest is horrible. I don't know why she's wearing a vest. I don't know who told her that was a good idea. For a dancer, it is best to not really be wearing a lot of big flowy, like a lot of big bulky garments, because you can't see the actual forms of the body, which is the whole point of dance, is to see the body moving. That's why the guy dancers don't have shirts on. And that's why they're wearing skin-tight pants. Obviously to show the joints in their arms, but it's to show the movements that they're doing. So with Gabbie in this like whole decked out outfit, it doesn't work as well. If she just had that like white top underneath and the big chunky pearl necklace, which I actually like, and the pants, it would be much better. I just don't like the vest. I just think it ruins the whole look. And the hair is really bad. It's very like prom girl to me. It doesn't really scream Barbie. If I were her, I like her natural hair. I think she should keep it. But I would probably put it in a nice Barbie ponytail, you know, like with a kind of like the classic like silhouette of Barbie where it's like the high ponytail up here and it goes like swoop, you know? I feel like that would be much more iconic and a lot easier to dance in. So why don't they have this part of the boy dancers going to Gabbie and kind of like pulling her apart and like pushing her around and stuff, and she's like doing all cool dance moves or whatever, I don't know. And it's literally showing them like pulling her limb from limb maybe, or like destroying her outfit. And at the end of the music video, it can be like they're all walking away and she's cracked, like she has a cracked a cracked face because she's a broken doll, because guys like her because she's broken. You know what I'm talking about? Wouldn't that be better? But I digress. And also, I shouldn't even have to explain to you why I don't like this background that they're dancing in. It's stupid. Now here's what really grinds my gears. Here is the nicest shot in the music video. Flamingos everywhere and her head's on the ground. Is actually a great shot. This is what's so frustrating about this whole ordeal. This is literally, if all the concepts that I've brought up so far were taken into consideration, this is what this music video would look like. Like, this looks much better. It's non-offensive lighting. It's a simple dollhouse set. It's a literal broken doll, so it's the actual metaphor that we've been trying to get this whole time actually coming to light. It's nice and very iconically Barbie. It's a very iconic, like, Barbie costume. It's her natural hair instead of a wig, so she doesn't look like a doofus. The setting is great and it conveys the message so clearly. But it's frustrating because the rest of the music video is not even close to this shot. Like, I don't even know what happened. Like, how did the rest of the music video look so bad, but this shot looks so nice? Okay, next, see the difference just in quality from this shot to this shot? How is this the same music video? Like, I don't understand. Honestly, like, I like the location of this one being the main location for the music video instead of the therapy location. It's cool, but I just wish it was done better than it's done in this shot. Most of the shots look like this, where it's extremely close up for no good reason. It's not the full body, which again, I don't understand why. It's not the full bathtub. It looks very amateurly shot. After seeing the last location with Gabbie Hanna's like actual hair, it's so awful to see her wear this wig because you can tell it's the same wig that they used before, like in the box, but they just like gave it a low bun, like very haphazardly, and it's just awful. Like someone who doesn't know how to handle wigs did it, you know what I mean? If anything, I think this shot would be better if in her kind of edgy therapist makeup and hair, in the bath with the broken dolls, because that, you know, would display like I am broken and I bathe in my brokenness. I don't know, it would work better. Not all of these have to be extremely like obvious, you know what I mean? Also, the background is really stupid. That's another thing I just want to emphasize. If it was just a clear white room or a clear white backdrop, it would be so much easier and so much simpler and look way better. I want to keep emphasizing that these shots are so cluttered unnecessarily, and it looks bad, and it makes the eyes just go berserk because you don't even know what to focus on. And it makes this relatively pricey, like it looks like this is kind of an expensive music video, look really cheaply done. And it's so claustrophobic. And then, you know, there's this part where she breaks the glass. Wow, how creative. She broke glass. I think if she broke herself because she's a broken doll, that would work so much better, but I digress. And then there's this little part at the end. In preparation for making this video, I watched all of Gabbie Hanna's music videos that she's done on her YouTube channel. Now, I don't really think Gabbie really had a lot of deeper meaning when she was making this music video, especially when she's making this little ending song. Now, this is a thing Gabbie Hanna is really known for in her music, is she kind of has an ending little track to her song that kind of, you know, adds a little extra creepiness to the whole music video. In this part, she sings a song, like just a little verse about broken boys. But you can really tell that there's not a lot of meaning here, and it's pretty abundant at the end. In preparation for this video, I watched all of Gabbie Hanna's music videos, and honestly, some of them are well directed, some of them are well done. Pillowcase is honestly kind of cool. I think it's like one of her best music videos, but I think the best example of it is her song Honestly, which is her first song that she came out with. In Honestly, it's your typical kind of like badass girl music video. It's pretty standard YouTube music, if I'm honest. It's nothing great. She's kind of in like a hot outfit. It's a simple set, it's glamorous lighting, it's music video lighting, and it's pretty low budget looking, but it still gets the simple song across by not like overshadowing it with too much, you know? At the end of the song, we get this little kind of creepy imagery being tied up on this kind of scaffolding system, and it kind of is mimicking a straitjacket with her being bound, with these two dancers twisting her around, binding her up further. And it's interesting because the whole song is essentially about this guy gaslighting her. Say you're talking to me honestly, but you're lying to me constantly. You know? Yeah. It's a song about gaslighting. And the song, like, that we've seen so far is kind of like this kick-ass music video where it's like, I'm hot and you can't boss me around anymore, boy, you know, whatever. And it's, which is cool, which is fine, whatever. But then it turns into this little creepy ballad about how gaslighting actually makes you feel. The purpose of gaslighting is to make the person feel like they're going crazy because the person that they love, the person that they're talking to, is lying to them in front of their face and they know it, but every time they say it, the person says they're crazy, so they feel like they're going crazy. So it's showing the undertone of how she's really feeling during this song at the end. It's like a whole song where it's like, oh, gaslighting sucks, poo-poo head, and then at the end it's like, this is messing me up and I hope I don't go back to you because I think I might, because you've manipulated me so well, you've spun your web around me. See? It's simple, but it works. Now, Gabbie has kind of stuck with this ending style to her music videos for quite a while now, like this kind of like creepy little ending vibe that she goes for, which is edgy. Whatever. At this point in Gabbie Hanna's career, the themes of the facade of happiness and showing your true emotions makes you into a monster are now so obvious as a Barbie doll and a girl going to therapy. And it's such a teenager understanding of art and metaphors that it's so interesting to look at it, because I look at my art in high school and it's exactly like this. It's exactly this like edgy, frick you kind of thing. Like, literally, just wait a second. Now, I was like half kidding when I made this artwork, but like, literally, Gabbie Hanna as a person. You know what I mean? It's the exact same themes of like, oh, a person a person who is supposed to look upstanding and good, and the facade of being a happy person because she's a queen actually is sad and she's listening to music and she's crying and she's emo. It's like, shut up. If anyone is gonna tell me that I'm going far too into this music video, that I'm like overanalyzing it too much, first of all, duh. The moral of this very long story is don't support Gabbie Hanna. Gabbie Hanna is a bad person, and maybe don't support her. Also, like, maybe don't support Melanie Martinez, because I'm pretty sure she's a rapist, but I honestly don't even remember a lot about that, so don't maybe quote me on that, but we know that Gabbie Hanna's not a good person, so don't support Gabbie Hanna. Support people like Marina, Lana Del Rey, Nicole Ganger. Those are all artists who really get this type of aesthetic, this exact aesthetic. Or Billie Eilish, whatever her name is. I could not pronounce it. And they actually do something interesting with it. And they aren't crappy people. Comment down below the name of your social security number, like this video, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, I'll put it in the description. Later, skaters.